Welcome Diecast fans, I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
As always, whether it's our channel or one of the other ones we show you tonight, if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment to let them know what you think, and of course if you really enjoy it, remember to subscribe so you don't miss out.
That's right, it doesn't cost you anything and it really helps all of the channels out.
Okay, let's kick into it. Let's start off as always with drag racing, and we're going to start at Gravity Track Grand Prix for their Lockdown Championship. They did a cool drag race event with some ID cars, a lot of fun and a great way to pass the time during lockdown.
Now Trax Racing were doing their monster truck drag races, and I love this one here. So the green one there is the Hulk. You see him in the back, but then he just picks it up as they pass about the halfway mark, and then boom, takes the win. It was beautiful bit of driving.
Then we head over to Low Country Diecast Racing League for their drop top down south competition. So quite an interesting drag track with that hump right at the start, and it runs lanes most of the way but then goes to that final stretch of open track just to make it a little bit more interesting.
Now Diecast RacerX, we haven't featured him for a while, but he is just pumping out tons of content, and he is in the 4th of July drag race competition at the moment. And as you can see, there's very little fluff on the channel. He introduces which cars are racing and then it's straight into it, no mucking about.
And BlueLine Racing showcased the cars that they've sent off to that Diecast RacerX competition, and these things look fast as you'd expect coming out of BlueLine Racing.
Now Wallside Diecast Racing have more of the King of the Wall competition, and I love this race here with that Mustang just pulling a beautiful 180 as he goes over that jump, and he just disappears off the finish line.
Whoa, that's crazy. Alright, Wheels Calgary, more daily racing. And we quite like this one, this big Jeep here, absolutely smashing it down the track in both lanes, leaving the other guy in his wake.
Hawkeye Hauler Diecast has his monster big competition. There's something like 50 cars that he's getting through, and it's all just straight up drag racing. A lot of fun to watch.
And finally in drag racing, Main Street Racers put on another good show running that 6-lane dragway. Right, we're just going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Release your inner Frank with this classic Give It the Beans t-shirt, available from chaoscanyonmerch.online.
Welcome back Diecast fans, let's get into the tournaments. The DIRS wrapped up round number 5 at WeRaceDiecast, and there was some excellent racing again on the channel. Keep your eye on the white and black car, that's Knocky Jack in the number 23. He went from 4th to 3rd and then all the way to 1st in that one race. It was an absolutely stunning drive. So you'll see in the replay as it comes up here, there he is in 3rd place, that's Lily the dog just in front of him. He pulls around the outside and muscles past, and just a very strong move there, but then cuts to the inside around Mary Death. Look at this, just absolutely brilliant bit of driving. And remember to catch the next round next week starting over at Live Young Diecast.
Alright, Monster Motorsports and the Just Say No to Tampos is getting close to the end of the competition, and there was just some brutal racing action on the track. Lots of DNFs this time, and you'll see in this replay here, the blue car at the back, I think it was Marquista, just nailed something on the track in that first corner and was just having all sorts of trouble that night. And then the black car there cutting that corner too early, and then the other two just doing a brilliant job of getting around him, and then they tussled all the way to the finish.
Now Diecast Racing report in the Psychedelic Speedway was stage 2 of the Pro-Am competition, and it was brutal in many ways. Not only were cars not finishing, there was a bit of damage as cars pelted off the track, but they'll be moving on to BlueLine Racing for some straight up drag racing next time. If you haven't seen it, have a look. There's the amateur competition one night and the pros the next.
Alright, Cleveland City Diecast Racing has his Fords tournament going on, and I love the way that yellow car out in front just did that little drift, and he pulls another one coming around here. But check out 2nd place here. Look at this, what a run right to the finish. He didn't quite get there, but it was just awesome.
Now Indiana Diecast Racing, more Sock Hop Slam, round number 4. And you know, these cars all look so amazing. The builders did such a good job on them. And the racing now is getting really interesting. There's been a few accidents in some of the earlier races, but there's a lot of really good finishes in these later races.
RTR Diecast Racing League, Mike put on a great Nissan series, and it's getting down to the wire now. But just some very tight racing and a lot of fun with that jump right at the end. It's just so much fun. I mean, look at this. Look at the way he slides out there, clips one of the trees, taking the bushes out.
Alright, Meal Ticket Raceway. Now, I loved the commentary in this. It was absolutely brilliant, but those 4 cars out in front are just super tight. But check this out. They get a little bit spread out here. The 2 in front start to stretch their legs. The dump truck is running 3rd at the moment. But then the other 3 all crash out and the dump truck goes through for the win.
Alright, the Migos Diecast Racing continued on the Hard as Nails tournament, and this track can be quite brutal for cars. You know, there's a wicked crossover mid-track here, but I've got to say there was some excellent racing this time around. It was absolutely beautiful.
Checkered Flag Contention had more NASCAR Cup Series, and NASCARs just always seem to be crazy. I don't know if it's because there's so many cars on track or whether it's just the nature of the cars themselves, but there was lots of accidents and lots of fun.
And then finally in tournaments, Campbell Creek Run. So this young fella is doing just such a good job with this racing series. I love the track and I love what he's doing. Congratulations, young man. Nice work.
Yeah, it's great to see the younger generation coming through and getting involved. Okay, moving into street racing now. We're going to kick off with the Canyon Outlaws because this time we had a whole bunch of new wannabes. We wanted to showcase this particular race. So that's Big Booty doing that beautiful drift around KM Corner, but then Sweet Tea gets ahead, sets her rear end up out on that sidewall, slides it through.
Yeah, look at this drift here. That was just absolutely superb, and he got his line perfect for the exit. Look at that. It's almost like he got a boost of speed there, but Sweet Tea did a brilliant job of overtaking and managed to get herself up on that sidewall because she was going so fast, but managed to control the car nicely enough that she managed to get it down without causing an accident and managed to take the win.
Yeah, it was absolutely superb bit of driving.
Commotion Diecast, these 2 beasts here absolutely battled it out, and this blue car out in front just seemed to be really quick, but man, he had some control issues. He managed to slide over the finish line there. You'll see here, so he puts the hammer down going down that second straight, gets a good lead into this second to last corner, and then on that last corner he just loses it, rolls over, but he's going so fast he manages to slide across on his roof anyway.
Now we go to Diecast Draggor and the Most Wanted tournament. So the van there at the back spinning up, this car out in front, I believe it was a Mustang, great job, held it together very nicely, beat the cop.
Now 3D Botmaker's King of the Mountain, it was finals time for tournament number 3, and this has been an absolute monster so far. Whoever won this round went up against the FGC family, and Terrence Jr. in that purple Evo did just a spectacular job driving. Look at this overtake right in that last straight. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that was some impressive driving. I mean, we don't want to give any spoilers, so go and check out the race if you haven't seen it by some miracle. Alright, Road Warriors over at Hot Car Track. It's getting down to the final races now. And this one here, the Evo, just as we saw on 3D's track, has been quick, but check out the savage block maneuver there. Just forces the Evo into the wall, gives them just enough to take the win with that Evo coming back strong, but just couldn't quite get around him.
War on I-4 has their King of the Track Friday night main event. So this is just head-to-head racing. You know, we've said it before, even though this is laned the whole way, it doesn't mean it's an easy track. You see there the black car of John Receiver going over. You just got to watch your speed on this track. It's really good.
Then finally we've got 164 Underground Diecast Racing. These guys put on a fun show and obviously enjoy what they're doing. That comes across in these videos, and you know, we just love some good street racing.
Alright, special events. We're going to start with the Chaos Canyon Rally. This was the Possum Farm hill climb track. So There's no other hill climb track out there that we know of, and this was just a stunning run in the Group N stock cars by Chips McGee. And then this was the winning run by Big L in the Group A modified, and it all came down to his line through the forestry section at the end to run a sub 10-second time. You'll see it here in the replay. He comes through the forestry, and then this drift in that last corner was absolutely superb. You couldn't have timed it better. Just gets the rear end of the car around, straightens him up and sets his line beautifully.
Okay, then we go over to Top Driver. Now, this rally has been going on for a while now, and we've seen a lot of cars crash out as they go over that jump and through the course sections here with the sand and the gravel. But this car doing a great job, and even does it in reverse.
Now, 3D Botmaker's rally as well. So Big Ear Dylan is out to defend his title as these drivers go through a full round robin tournament. And this was Marcus Firegorn and Big Ear Dylan. Now, Dylan in this Evo obviously got the pace here, just leaving Marcus Firegorn behind. But check this out. He was going so fast he completely blows it on that jump there. Marcus Firegorn, great job getting around him without wiping out himself and just taking the win and the points.
Now, Gravity Throttle Racing. Absolutely love this track. And this was the first time we've actually seen 3 cars on the track at once. It was really interesting that they were pushing that many cars through the track. And then check out the performance of the Civic Type R here. Another beautiful drift as he goes through the snake pit there. And then again into this section, coming down to the egg beater with the second car right on his tail. Down through the egg beater beautifully. And then that last car struggling through the egg beater, rolling over.
Yeah, this track is so much fun. I really enjoy it, and I just love this drift corner to start. It's so good. Now we go over to Beaverworks for our rock drop jump. That Mad Mike Drift Mazda is just a beautiful car and handled that jump like an absolute pro. Mad Mike, of course, a well-known Kiwi drifter and top world champion drifter. But this car just handled that jump beautifully, and I love this little slide right at the end there and the little spin. Very tastily done.
Then it was over to Flat Rabbit Racing for the Truck Slayers tournament, and I have loved this tournament. So the pickups have run already, and then it was into the Monster Truck series, and this was so much fun. They've done such an amazing job with this whole series. There's a great story behind the racing and the reason for the racing, and I love the whole setup of the new track. And that one there, I just love how the dude bullseyes the tyre and just throws himself off and actually hands the win to the other guy.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Flat Rabbit put out some of the best content out there. I absolutely love that channel. Sonora Diecast Racing, a little bit more tame for them in their Fast and Furious tournament. This time it was the curve. So this is the long straight into the 180 degree and then down. They've got a slight jump mid-track, but it still causes a lot of chaos here. You'll see a couple of cars drifting around here, and then they go down over this, there's Robin getting knocked off the track. You see the cars come through, go over that little jump there, and then they sprint down to the finish line.
And finally, it was Monkey Minute over at Brunhilda Hills. So this was the 4-into-1 elimination run, and I can't believe that little bus made it with the weight of all of those others. It just managed to get through. It was incredible. Now into Track Spy. First up is miniature car racing, and this cool little track is really neat. It starts with that 6-lane, goes into the wide curve, and then down to the fat track finish, just so there's a good chance for some overtaking and some great action right at the end.
And Rick's Diecast Racing, we've showcased him a couple of times, but he's finally got a permanent place to set up his track, so all the others have been temporary, and I like that almost figure 8 down through there to the finish line.
And then Gwyngoyo went ape on their track, pulling it down completely as they get ready to build a new track. So that's something we haven't seen before, is someone actually full on destroying their track. So the new layout is looking really interesting. I love the little humps and flat sections, the curves. It looks like it's going to be a really fun track, so keep an eye out for that one. And we'll try to keep you updated with progress in the next report, depending on how the track's going.
Now, replays of the week. We're going to start with this one from Monster Motorsport and the Just Say No to Tampos. Check that out. Boom! absolutely gets nailed as he goes to slide across the finish line. But luckily for him, he did actually cross it. As you see here, as he comes down and he bounces around, he actually clips that sign that's just past the finish.
Then we go over to the Chaos Canyon Rally. This is Chips McGee setting the second fastest time in the group ends, even though he was on his roof. It was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, he was pedaling that car so hard, and just look at that roof slide. That was brilliant.
Chip's definitely one of the faster ones to watch. And then we had Kit Kame do his version of it, where he goes up on two wheels, clips two vehicles that the spectators bought, and then backs it over the line. And he was second fastest at that point in time as well. So he was absolutely flying. Could have taken out first place if he'd actually managed to stay on track the whole time.
And then finally, that's Dalvis Jr. from Commotion Diecast, getting it all kinds of wrong on the hill climb. Pulls a full-on barrel while going up the track. Almost managed to get back on track, but then blows it completely, rolls off, plunges down to the bottom of the track, and a huge big bounce. Luckily for him, he landed in the soft mud.
And we go back to RTR Diecast Racing League, and check this one out. I don't know if you caught that. Well, let's just slow this down again. So he just nails that dude in the white shirt. Dude takes a bumper to the face. Let's see it one more time. Here we go. Zoomed in. Oh,
pow, right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser.
classic Family Guy.
And then we go back to Commotion Diecast, and this one, see that dude rolled again, this time a lot earlier, but then the other car actually got around him with a beautiful bit of driving. You see here, he slams into him, pushes that guy along. He almost crossed the finish line, but then he managed to get going again, gets around him nice and clean, and takes the win. Just brilliant bit of driving.
Yeah, that's quite an impressive overtake. That's enough for tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to check out redlinederby.com for all of your racing needs. They've got a full racing calendar. They've got track directories. So if you're looking for somewhere to send a car to race, if you're wanting to promote your own races, that's the place to do it. All right, that's enough from us. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. Thanks very much for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Oh man, this rally is shaping up so good. I'm so excited to see the next section.
Me too, mate. Me too. It's going to be fun.